This is amazing. This is amazing. And I use that in like the best possible and worst possible senses. So what we're looking at here is a symbol that has gone worldwide. And this is based on a poor young girl who has clearly been hassled. Her and her friends have been hassled so much where they live that she has begun to carry weapons on her in order to protect herself from predators. Now, this is in the UK. Now, we were told for a long time that rape gangs were the rape grooming gangs were a conspiracy theory. It's not real. Yeah, here's the video here. Do you want to play the audio?
Yeah, hang on, I'll start from
It's horrific. Just trigger warning.
Fucking wealthy! Oh, you don't dare!
Yes, you have a knife.
You don't! Hey, I'm fucking wealthy! You're fucking bad and
Why are you fucking with us?
You're fucking kid bashers!
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Get
Show
the
the knife.
fuck away from her!
Show the knife. Show the
Don't
knife.
touch her!
That's
Touch
it,
me,
that's
do
it.
whatever you
Show the
want to
knife.
do. Get my little sister!
Show the knife. That's it.
Don't fucking touch my little sister! She ain't fucking 12! Where's her fucking touching me? She's fucking 12 and you just battered me, mate! Where's her fucking touching me?
Yeah, show the knife.
So
Maracha.
this is the reality of England, where, remember, we've been told
That's Scotland.
Or Scotland, sorry, but the United Kingdom, sorry, I should have said. Remember, we were told for so long there's nothing wrong. Migrant grooming gangs, all the assaults, everything else, it's not real, it's not happening. Well, because of that denial from adults, grown men and women who have a responsibility to protect children, now children, and you can hear the trauma in their voices. I don't know what their background is, but I'm going to suggest that's not their first rodeo.
Yeah.
They've had some experiences that no, girl of that age should have had. And that 12-year-old has gone to the lengths of saying, well, I'm going to carry a hatchet. I'm going to have a machete with me so that I can ward off and intimidate anyone who might try and do that to me again, or perhaps she's aware of it having happened to others or something. Something has happened that has caused her to make that decision. Now, can we bring up that symbol again?
Oh, yep. And
Now, what's happened to them is horrific. It gets even worse because the person arrested in that situation was the girl. She was arrested for
I was trying to find the article, but
carrying knives and for carrying weapons and the means of her own self-defense, which is disgusting. But the UK is a powder keg at the moment. This has been suppressed for so long. This has been lied about for so long, and people are so over the lies and they're calling them out. And I'm going to bring up here, there's actually been recently a report that has come out from an MP in, no, hang on, I must not have screenshot it. That's a shame. Hang on. Okay, yes. Okay. Rupert Lowe, MP, ex-Southampton Football Club chairman, businessman, farmer, former member of the European Parliament, and he is the Great Yarmouth MP currently. So he is an elected official. Yesterday, on X, Rupert Lowe MP says, our rape gang inquiry has today released research detailing 85 local authorities in which the gang-based sexual exploitation of children is taking place or has historically done so. This is one of the most comprehensive exposés of the rape gang scandal to date. I'm not going to go into the details here, but it's horrific and it's real. And all of that, nonsense about Tommy Robinson, he's lying, he's a racist piece of whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, he was right.
Yeah.
Elon Musk getting behind it a year or two ago and really drawing a lot of attention to it. He was right.
Yeah.
Girls like that have grown up and all they've ever known is a home where they are not safe in their own streets. And that's the consequence. That's the result. That is the result of the failure of courage of adults, of politicians, of grown men and women. The people who should be doing the protecting have literally allowed these predators to operate and in fact protected these predators from operating. And this is my point. People say, oh, it's because they're immigrants. No, again, even though it's actually a large number of people, it's a small percentage of the immigrants. The problem was not that immigrants came into the country. The problem is that the government buried all of the evidence from the very earliest signs of trouble. They buried it and they denied it and they tried to pretend that it wasn't happening. It's the same thing that's been happening with violent crime here in Victoria. The issue is a complete failure of the adults to be adults. And now these girls are having to do what they're doing. The heartening thing is that symbol of the machete and the hatchet has gone worldwide. People have grabbed that. That has become an emblem.
Yeah.
That is going to start showing up on flags at the marches that are happening regularly in the UK right now. And sorry, one more thing. I know you want to talk.
No.
One more thing. There is talk of the government of Keir Starmer banning certain UK flags from public display.
Yeah.
If that happens, we are going to see that symbol as a flag in some of the biggest marches that the UK has ever seen, and they will literally within weeks. If Keir Starmer does that, within weeks they will be the closest they've been to a civil war in 400 years.
Yeah, I just we're talking about children getting raped. Like it's just
and not just that, children getting raped and assaulted and abused, and the government actively covering for the gangs that are guilty of that abuse.
I'm going to choose my words. Let me just think this through. For every little girl that was raped and that was ignored and it was covered up because the colour of the skin of the person who did it, we need to get to a point where there is a level of consequence that's so egregious that you're never willing to cross that threshold.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know you and I differ on this, and I'm not going to bring up Nayab because I know you think I am. I think we need to go harder because in their home countries, the punishments are brutal.
Yeah.
And we would argue as Westerners, we're above that. We're more civilised. We have processes. I don't think you can talk or rehabilitate people who participate in that.
No.
I really don't.
No.
And I will happily go on the record and say that if you get to a point where you have raped a young child, you should be castrated. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Because there should be no conceivable way that you could even try and commit it again because you can't.
Yep.
People are going to go, you can't do that, it's barbaric. Well, no, I'd argue that the rape of the child was barbaric and you having any kind of sympathy for someone who can commit a crime like that, not just once, but repeatedly to a point where rape gangs are now a problem. The deterrent needs to be so heinous, so disgusting that you're not even tempted to do it.
See, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Once they've been actually properly found guilty, right? And this is not like a Brittany Higgins, Bruce Lerman kind of he said, she said, what really happened. No. Clear-cut, violent rape, especially of a minor. I mean, in that case, for sure. But I would say violent rape, castration.
Yeah.
I don't view that as a human rights violation.
Do you know sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to point this out. We've talked about this on the podcast so many times where we talk about how us today as modern humans are so different to humans who existed prior to us. And, whether you're looking back at the Roman period when they had gladiators, or you're looking back at the medieval times, or, when the Ottoman Empire was a thing, or at the turn of the 19th century, humans have always been a violent species. That's inherent in us. It's like, so who we are today in 2025 is no different to who we were before Christ walked this earth.
Yep.
We have people who have principles and values and virtues, and we have people who will be criminals and defy that, and people who are just pieces of shit. I don't know why we think that because we're modern humans, we're any different to those in the past. But look at how those crimes were historically treated. Even adultery and things like that. There were horrible punishments because they were acted as a deterrent. I'm not saying that we should be horrible to people, but what I'm saying is there needs to be a consequence.
Once someone is found guilty of a crime, then they can be punished. That's not a human rights violation to punish somebody once they've been found guilty of a serious crime.
But we know this. We have examples of this where there is sweeping reform and it immediately cleans people up. Like, I'm not going to keep talking about El Salvador, but we know it's possible and it's been done plenty of times. But
are you aware of the time?
Yes.
You've got somewhere to be.
We've got 10 minutes.
Okay.
So we'll finish on this one. Imagine that, like, the criminal that's, the pedophile that was just named again in the childcare centres.
Yeah.
And not to bring this up again, but just to really drive home my point. Not only was he inappropriately touching children and filming them, he was ejaculating into their food. I'm sorry.
That's
immediate
that's dog.
castration.
Yeah.
Immediate. And I don't believe in the death penalty for a couple of reasons, but castration, you can't use your dick again. You're fucked, literally.
Oh, well, we'll give it to you in a box.
Yeah, you can keep it. You can wear it around your
that's
neck
right, that's
as a
right.
reminder of what you did. And guess what? He ain't going to rape anyone, is he?
No, that's right. And this is the thing that I think some people get wrong. They assume that a libertarian is soft on crime. No, a libertarian is very firm on the rights of the arrested and accused. But once they're found guilty through a properly conducted due process, then punishment is appropriate for whatever the crime is. And yes, punishments sometimes need to be violent.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely opposed to the death penalty under any and every circumstance. I think in the US, they use it too often still. I think it has to be a particularly extreme circumstance. But I think what we've got at the moment is we have an amount of time in prison, and then in America and other countries with the death penalty, they have death.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, there's a heap of other ways to punish people.
Yeah.
And if someone's a rapist, removing their ability to ever rape again.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Fine. I'm not necessarily in favour of cutting off of hands and cutting off of feet and that sort of thing, but public floggings, stocks, humiliation, having rotten fruit thrown at you and being jeered at and being publicly humiliated in that way. We've talked about the role of humiliation as an important social feedback. We've removed all of that out of the system and made it actually really quite comfortable oftentimes to be a prisoner. It's actually, it's quite comfortable.
Well, that's what I mean. And they get appeal after appeal after appeal. Like, even though there is the death penalty in the US, it's actually very hard to get a death penalty conviction, and then it's even harder to actually execute them. And I understand why. There's a lot of checks and balances there. But, you know, death penalty aside, like, Australia's never going to bring that back. No. Not in our lifetime. There's no way. But we should be pushing for severe punishment.
Yeah. But what the UK can do is turn around and say, right, we're going to actually start arresting and prosecuting people that are being accused of having been a part of this. And there's been inquiries now. The police know, right? A lot of the politicians know. They know who the core people are at the very least. So go around, sweep them off the streets, throw them into prison, and do not give them bail pending their trial.
Yeah.
Then anyone that is found guilty serves their time and then is deported. They're never coming back into the country. Well, here you are again. Thank you so much for watching The Oddcast. You've just seen a clip from the wonderful Carly and myself. Am I wonderful? No, but Carly is. And between us, we make a good team. So head on over to The Oddcast HQ on YouTube and watch our full episodes over there. See you there.